Welcome to Let's Weave Beads. In this video I'm going to be going over the next practice pattern for cleanup. Before watching this video, I do recommend that you watch the Simple Lines video. It shows some line cleanup also, but they're slightly simpler than the ones we will be showing in this video, and it has some other information that you might find useful. Now here in this pattern, when we converted the lines, most of them landed where they were double, like this, and they're broke up. Now one thing about this one that makes it a little simpler is that its 4 quadrants are the same. So what you do in one, you can then copy to the other 3. So that makes it slightly simple in that way. But because like this one here is centered, it makes it slightly more difficult, because normally with ones that are double, I will either move the line one direction or the other. But because this one is centered, you pretty much have to go both. Now in my previous videos, I have told you want to find what is most important in the design and start there. Well, with a design like this one, because you need to move the lines, is you also want to figure out what is least important. And in this, it would be the yellow areas, because they are background. So you know that the yellow areas you can take a little away from in order to clean up your design. Now, what I did is for this line here, I left it. I liked the way it turned out. And for the center line, I decided the best thing to do was to do both sides. So as you can see here, I marked both sides, so I would know I wanted to do both sides all the way down. And this is how it turned out. And it looks very nice with the other. And that fixed the center line. Then I thought, okay, doing that took away from the gray a little bit in some of the other areas, so how can we work with that? So what I did is these lines are single, but you need to do them either one direction or the other. So I opted to go out with them and take away from the yellow, because like I said, the yellow is the background. So it's not as important. So for this center part here, what I did is I did the yellow here, and then I also, because we took away these 2 grays, I wanted to give a little bit more gray in this area. I did these 2 gray and then moved them up here on top of the yellows and made these 2 the sort of brownish color. So here you can see I dotted these 2 gray because I wanted to do them gray, and then I dotted these 2 with the brownish, and the sides here with the brownish, because I decided I'd go out like this and give a little bit more gray. And this is how it turned out. And I felt that made the gray a little bit more, stand out a little more, and gave the nice brown outline. And then the last area is up here, and like I said, with the yellow being the least important, and I didn't want to take away from the brown area, so I went ahead and moved to the yellow, and then I gave the brown these 2 and these. So as you can see here, I dotted the yellows to be turned to blue, and then I did these blues along here to brown to fill in that area. And this is how it came out. So for a pattern like this one, I moved the line slightly in order to give it its full design. And like I said, this one was a little simpler than some will be, because you just copy it. Once you decide what you're going to do, you just copy it to the other 3 areas and it will be the same. Now what's important too is always to have your pattern, the original pattern, close by, so that you can then compare. As you're doing your changes, you see that this here looks good, and then the here looks good, and of course the cross through the whole thing came out well, and then you know that your pattern now looks the best that it can towards the original, and it's cleaned up and nice, and you can start beading. If you have any questions about moving lines or cleaning up a pattern, please leave comments in the comment area, and I will be glad to help you in any way that I can. Happy beading!